Hello, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is a reading for the collective for the next 7 days. The next 7 days that involves the inauguration day, that involves Mars-Uranus conjunct in Taurus. And this sort of astrology sort of sparks a lot of violence, outbursts. Taurus represents the earth to me, so it's just explosions and earthquakes and violent eruptions. None of it's good. It really is. Most certainly for Wednesday, a day really not to leave the house if you can avoid it, quite frankly. But just certainly a week to become conscious that you can be very easily triggered into anger. And if you're not, other people around you certainly can. The energy coming through this week is the starfish in reverse and the dove spirit in reverse, peace in reverse basically. So the starfish, it always speaks to me about regeneration. He's in reverse, because if you cut off any of his wee legs, they will grow back on. Open to infinite possibilities. From this I'm just getting a lot of cynicism, very rigid belief systems. It also speaks about disturbed waters. I've seen disturbed waters. I actually wrote that down and then I pulled out the rescuer, and you see she's got the the ring here. So yeah, disturbed waters. There's no peace this week basically is what this is saying, and there's a lot of people who don't even want peace. So the advice you're being given is that where you see harm being done, trust your capacity to bring peace to the situation, or at the very least to your own lives. That in itself makes a contribution to the collective. So it is going to be a week of eruptions because people are very rigid. Some people don't want change. Some people don't like the changes that are happening. And this is a week where there looks to be a lot of fighting. So I pulled this out at the very last minute. Rescuer in the upright and gossip is in reverse. So the gossip speaks about thriving on power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidences. I'm actually getting that, especially down here, that there is money being paid to hide secrets. But there's also there's paid mercenaries here basically. So the focus for the collective this week is the Eight of Swords and the Five of Wands here. So the Eight of Swords speaks about being hoodwinked sometimes. It can speak about prison or imprisonment. There may be a lot of fights or arguments around prisons, or maybe even the amount of pardons that are being given out. I don't know. There could be some disruption in the prison in general. I don't know why. I just sort of get the feeling this was more a case of someone was avoiding conflict, which is obviously very much to be recommended here. But there is conflict with the Five of Wands. There is fighting, and it actually came through with the Soldier. And there's some sort of, there's secrets. There might be a judge involved this week with the conversations, but there's secret communication, there's secret conversations that have been done, at night time or in the dark in some way that involve money and the whip. And the whip represents arguments, fighting, slanderous statements. It can be a whistleblower for some. There might be a whistleblower. But it's money. There's money. It can just be straight up money for sex, and that might be something that comes out this week. But I see it's more in relation to actual violence, repetitive violence. There's almost a desire for that. But in terms of organisation, it is something that's going on behind the scenes, or in the dark with the moon here. This sort of combination with the book and the moon can represent, in terms of what will be in the focus this week, is therapy, psychology. It can be like a secret romance. It can be being attracted to secrets and arguments that lead to hate. It can involve teachers, libraries, writers, researchers, celebrities, sexual secrets, prison fights I got through again. Actually, the song I got on this was What If God Was One of Us? So that's where the focus is going to be. It's going to be a very unsettling week. I think people are being paid off, or being paid to fight, and other people being paid off to, you know, keep their mouth shut. The advice in terms of what you are to do, which sort of speaks to the rescuer card here, is actually really lovely. It's the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So it's everything new and everything fresh in terms of what to do. Clarified with the child in the bouquet. This is about making small acts of kindness, offering small gifts, giving to charity, you know, offering an olive branch is in fact what I've got. So it's literally the opposite of the energy that's going around you, or it's going to be around us mostly this week. I mean, clearly the vast majority of this is going to be focused in America, but you know, you never know. So it is very much to offer acts of kindness wherever you can. You know, it might seem small and inconsequential and make no difference, but it ultimately does if enough people were to do it. And if they, in terms of what not to do, this is a bit odd. 7 of Swords in reverse and the 2 of Swords upright. This actually just speaks of not returning to the scene of the crime, whatever that may be. It's not to take any risks by doing anything underhand. I've got the dice and falseness here. Don't take any risks and don't be fake with the falseness card. Doesn't need to represent a person here. This is about lies, corruption, deception, any sort of cover-ups, what not to do. But it may be with the 7 of Swords being in reverse that that's actually what's uncovered, because that's often my confession or getting caught in the act here. So there's blocking here, there's uncertainty, but this is what not to do. Travel to a wedding. I don't know. I mean, the wedding can just be that, but it can also be any sort of a group get together, any sort of agreements. What not to do is enter into any sort of false agreements, is to travel basically this week, is to make any wedding announcements or announcements of any sort of contracts. What not to do. I mean, it's such a mess, the what not to do, and it's all fairly obvious. I think the only focus, I mean, this is so lovely in terms of what to do, that's really where everyone's focus needs to be this week. So there's going to be a pile of shit out there basically, and it's going to be very, very nasty. There's people that basically do want to fight. They don't want peace. They want to ram home their objective. And there's money being paid here to enable that, and also to cover up secrets. Secret conversations. So we've got the military involved here. We've obviously got soldiers, but I have specifically seen paid mercenaries for whatever is coming up. At the base of the deck, I've got Coyote Spirit in reverse, who's my wily, sneaky, cunning fox, with Judgment in reverse. Again, this is speaking about law and order, and it's in reverse. There's something in the legal system. Judge and Judgment, secrets. So it's like somebody's got something on someone, and because of that, you know, they're able to blackmail them in some way. Let's take advice for the collective for the week. Advice is put it for the collective for the next 7 days, other than not to leave your home on the 20th. Mars and Uranus as well, you know, it speaks about fires and eruptions, so you know that's something to be wary of, you know, your electricity, candles, that sort of thing. shed the old skin and release the old and rest. So, you know, there's changes happening whether we like it or not. The snake, you know, obviously has its own connotations. Snake. The advice: cast off the old, reveal your true colours, talents and gifts to the world. For me, the snake card not only represents the shedding of old skin, but moving beyond the limitations caused by carrying the venom of negative thoughts about others or the past. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized or you've been misread by others, know this energy is leaving you. As you've been working through old stories and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated along the way, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of the work you've been doing within. This is a time for renewal, abundance and connection, so let yourself be reborn. I can't really see it. I'm seeing it in the much wider stage, obviously, this week. It almost feels in some ways, in terms of what we do, it feels small. We almost feel that it's out of our control, and in many ways it is. So the best you can do is focus on your little sphere with random acts of kindness. Buy flowers, make peace offerings, love your children and yourself, and this too shall pass. Have a good week, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.